Yeah, they have all these different decoys. Is that a fish? There's a fish over there. I don't know if you can see, but that's a fish decoy.
This whole area is called Sandy Beach, obviously.
A target loop.
Oh, there's a locust on my head. I want a cow. Ooh.
If I lean forward just a little bit, I was like, I'm gonna fall off. We basically believe in a basic concept, and that is that every day we need to make the most of it. And this is part of how we do it.
Welcome back to our channel, everybody. We are in Glendo State Park right now. We finally got our camp set up and everything. And then we're gonna go check out all of the amenities. Now, obviously we're not gonna hit them all because you can do so many things here, so we're gonna have to come back. This is my first time in Glendo State Park. This is what, the third time y'all have been here, Dad?
Yeah, third time.
Third time. And we'll probably come back plenty more times. You can boat, there's an archery range, there's a marina, there's hiking, there's mountain bike trails. I mean, the list goes on. But we're gonna show you all the little hiking trail that's on this side. We're camped on the cliff side. We'll go to the archery range, the marina, and just check out a few more things. And then at the end, we'll give you all our rating of what we think of Glendo State Park. So stay tuned, and I'll show y'all the rest of our camp spot. Okay guys, so this is our camp spot. As you walk up, this is our main hub right here. So this is our canopy and then our little cooking spot. We have the grill and a table set up. And then we have our two little camp chairs and our propane fire pit that we like to have when it gets a little cold later. And then my tent and my awning, our table and chairs. And then this is my parents' camper here. And then if you spin all the way back around, you can see that there's a fire pit and table and chairs and everything. That they have here all the time, and then our little game of cornhole we set up in the back as well. So this is kind of what we have going on, and then we're gonna go check out the rest of the state park here in a second. So as we said, there are tons of amenities at this state park. We're camping on the cliff side, which I'll kind of show you a video later. There's a trail that walks along the cliff behind all the campsites over here, and then we'll go to the complete other side of the state park where it's the beach side. And a couple other things we'll show y'all, but yeah, let's get in the truck and go check that stuff out. So we went to the other side of the lake, and they have day use parking, so you can just kind of sit up down here, and then we're gonna walk down there over by the lake and show you what it looks like down there.
This whole area is called Sandy Beach, obviously.
Great, thanks. So this side also has group sites. So it's kind of like a little corral. So it's like a little circle, and then you can park around the little cul-de-sac. And there's a handful of them all down along this entire side of the lake.
Look at how pretty they are.
She loves cows.
I want a cow.
Ooh. So we came down to the marina and we found out they also have a cafe. So we're gonna go check out the inside and see what it looks like. That's the inside. Come in. It's actually kind of cool. Well, okay, so that was the Marina store and cafe at the Glendo State Park. I got 2 primes. I wanted to try the strawberry watermelon one, But yeah, it was pretty cool. They've got like everything in there, and they got $6 firewood, so it's kind of nice that you don't have to go very far. So we're gonna go check out the rest of the marina, and then after this, we're gonna go see the archery range, which I think is pretty cool as well. Okay, so I saw online that they have an archery range, and I thought it was just these targets, but it's a 1.2 mile archery trail, and they have like deer decoys over there, so I'm gonna turn the camera around and show y'all what we're looking at, because this is really freaking cool. So as you park right here, you come up just to the targets. The outer two are the closest in, and then the farthest one away is that one right there. And then, I don't know if you can see, but there's a decoy. And then you can see a little decoy over there, and I guess you just can keep going down this trail for a little over a mile. Yeah, they have all these different decoys. Is that a fish? There's a fish over there. I don't know if you can see, but that's a fish decoy. This is really cool.
I didn't realize there's a shooting trail.
So we walked a little farther. If you can see, there's a Sasquatch. And then the loop goes all the way around, and then it comes back out over here. So across from our camp spot are a handful of yurts that I guess you can rent. My dad's looking through the window because we can't get inside, but they're pretty cool. Let's see if you can see. Oh, it does. I can barely get the camera, but you can see. It's like a little table, bunk beds, and a couch. That's pretty cool. There's an air conditioner, and there's like a little window bubble thing at the top. Right there. These are pretty cool. I wonder how much they are to rent. If I can find it online, I'll put it up in the corner here how much they are to rent per night. So on the cliff side, everyone kind of parks along the edge of the cliff, and then there's probably about a good, I would say about 100, 150 yards until you get to the cliff to see the lake. But there's a trail that runs behind all of these camp spots. So we're gonna go walk back there and then just kind of take a little hike down and check it out, and we'll show you what that looks like. Let's go see.
It's a little freaky.
Is it? You're like, ah!
Well, it's like if I lean forward just a little bit, I was like, I'm gonna fall off.
So we were hiking along the trail that goes along the lake, and we found this handicap spot, which I think is awesome to give people access, but also it has a little viewpoint. So if you know, are in a wheelchair or whatever, and it's a pretty decent view, I think.
The table is also made for handicap.
It is? Oh, how cool is that? So there's a little notch cut out, so if you're in a wheelchair, you can just park right there. This is an awesome accessible site. All right, point one, Glendo State Park. That's awesome. And then we also found this little spot that's connected. So you have more seating, and then there's another even better view. If you can get off the track a little bit. That's pretty cool. So we found the map in the end of the trail. We're here, and apparently we walked What'd you say? Like up here?
Yeah, we're in this loop right here. That little
Right there.
strip.
So we camped here and we just walked along this entire thing all the way to here. So now we gotta go back.
This is fine. Table. Tomahawk steak.
The tomahawk steak. And then we made some rice, some teriyaki salmon. Oh yeah. And then some zucchini. Yum.
All on a campfire.
All on a campfire.
I did. No, I'm good.
Thank you, Lord, for this food and for giving us the opportunity to come out here and spend some time together. Thank you for standing by us and just looking over us and giving us so many blessings in this life. Just thank you for being wonderful and for loving us and giving us the opportunity. You like it?
It's got a good taste to it.
Alright guys, so that concludes our Glendo trip. Like I said, this is his third time being out here. This is my first, and I absolutely love it here. Like, we're gonna have to come back. There's so many things I didn't get to do yet. But now, obviously, we're gonna give you the cool factor rating. So I'll start off, and then I'll have my dad go ahead and give his after mine. So first of all, accessibility. For us, because we live in northern Colorado, we live in Fort Collins, basically. It's about a 2-hour drive, just straight up the highway, and then you turn off and you're right in Glendo. So for me, accessibility was super easy. Same thing with the camp spots. I think they're really easy to pull into, especially for me. I don't have much of a problem with that because I'm just in my truck. So accessibility, fine with me. Amenities, there are so many amenities. Like, we covered, you know, the marina, boating, the beach, there's hiking and biking trails, there's the archery range. I mean, the list goes on. We didn't even cover everything, and I wish we had covered more, but we'll just have to come back. So amenities, definitely lots of them compared to a lot of places. There's tons. Scenery. Obviously, as you saw in this video, the scenery is to die for. Holy...
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, it's nuts. There are a lot of places we've camped that are not nearly this gorgeous. So scenery is a 10 out of 10 for me. How easy it is to visit. It is a little bit hard to book here. My parents booked the trip, and we actually got the last open spot for Father's Day weekend this year, just on a whim. Usually people do have to book out in advance, but there are a lot of options here. You can tent camp, you can camper camp, you can rent a camper, you can rent a yurt. Oh, there's also those handicap accessible spots as well, which are pretty cool. So it kind of goes back and forth, just depending time of year, but this is one of those places that I would happily plan out in advance for, so it's fine by me. And last thing is coolness. Overall coolness. Out of a lot of the places I've camped, this place is unreal, like I said. So personally, for me, Glendo State Park gets a 5 out of 5 on the coolness factor scale, which is already crazy to start off with that. But this place just, it hits all of my marks, honestly. What about you?
Yeah, and a lot of, for the same reasons, I rate this place very highly. Like she mentioned, accessibility. We're very close. We're only a couple hours away, and it's basically all highway driving. It's a straight shot just to get here. That we love. we do love to venture farther away. We like new places, and we try to go to different places a lot of times and not repeat places, but this is one of those locations that we'll gladly come back to over and over again because we just love it here so much. But yes, accessibility is very easy, particularly if you live anywhere sort of in the Colorado area. It's not that far away. Even if Madison were to travel here from Craig, it's probably about maybe 4 hours.
It's a 4.5 or 5 hour drive, depending on which way I go. Yeah.
So yeah, which you know, for a nice trip to somewhere beautiful,
yeah,
it's worth it. It's worth the drive.
Absolutely.
Amenities, like she said, there's a lot here to do. I've learned, this is my 3rd time here, and I just learned today the new things about the park that I wasn't even aware of.
Yeah.
We visited the archery range, which I've seen the targets before, but we didn't realize there was actually a target loop.
Oh, there's a locust on my head.
That you can walk around, and they have like targets that you can shoot as you walk a mile, 0.2 around this track in order to shoot targets. I didn't realize that was here, and I guess you don't unless you go down there and kind of check it out. Mm-hmm. There's a sandy beach here if you want to go hang out like actually on the lake. And enjoy like the beach environment and actually enjoy it. And that's one of the things I love about being here. I like camping by the lake, but more importantly, the accessibility to the lake, which hasn't always been the case with some of the lakes in Colorado. We've found that we can visit them and we can camp, but they have very limited accessibility sometimes to the lake. I don't find that to be the case here at Glendo. I think that there's lots of options as far as if you want to get on the water, especially if you like to boat. They have rentals. If you just want to hang out at the beach, you can do that. Some people come and they just get on the lake with their boat and they go to the other side and they just dock their boat right on the beach and they just have a day doing that. That part of it makes this place really pretty fun. Exactly. She touched on some of the others as far as the options, as far as if you want to stay here. You don't have to have necessarily gear at all. You can stay in a yurt. I think they even might have had some cabins that you can rent. I'm not 100% sure about that.
You can also rent campers too. As you drive into Glendo, there's camper rentals as well.
So, you know, there's options as far as ability to stay here without having to have all of the equipment and things like that you need. But for me, you know, the ease of the RV sites, being able to get in, get out of them. Some of them are pull through, some you back in, but they made it very easy to be able to navigate and to maneuver if you have bigger equipment like that. Beautiful tent sites. And you can tent camp on any of the sites that they have, pretty much.
The group sites, I think, were awesome too. That is something that's not common in a lot of places, and I put that in this video. Is you can group camp with a handful of people, so you're not so spread out from your friends. I mean, y'all can camp right next to each other. I think that's an awesome
We
thing.
Actually, for this trip, she had mentioned that I got lucky and I just got a last-minute site. I literally booked this site about a week and a half out. Which is unheard of for these days. It's
especially
hard to
for Father's Day weekend.
But we actually ended up on a group site. It only requires a minimum of 3 people, a maximum of 30 people. We actually are using it with 3 people, and for 3 days, I spent $105. It's not that expensive, which makes this place even more phenomenal. But those group sites can vary a little bit. Like where we are right now, we're kind of in the woods, which we love to camp in the woods. We prefer that because we have a little more shade, and also we're above a cliff right now, about 100 feet over the lake.
We'll turn the camera around here in a second.
It's absolutely beautiful. Our group site we're on right now doesn't have any kind of hookups or anything like that, but they do have some that are very nicely set up where you kind of are in a corral. And they can get up to 3 campsites with electric if you want to be able to run your AC and things like that in some of the bigger rigs. So to me, since I'm an RVer, all of those things really matter a lot from that standpoint. Scenery, man, this place is really hard to believe how beautiful it is here. And you can't always say that for all of like Eastern Colorado is like Kansas to me, which is, you know, but I'm also,
hey, no offense to anyone who's from Kansas, okay?
Kansas has its qualities as well.
And also, I mean,
but there's West Texas we don't like either.
Well, and parts of Wyoming, I mean, you drive for flat and flat and flat, and then you turn into Glendo, and there's this mountain range and water out of nowhere.
You're in an oasis all of a sudden out of the middle of nowhere, so you can't beat that. It's beautiful here, and that's always one of the factors that we way on just about everywhere we go.
Definitely.
It needs to be beautiful. We want to aesthetically.
We want to camp in cool places. I mean, it's as simple as that,
be pleasing
honestly.
to us
Yeah.
where we are. We just like to be in beautiful places.
Exactly.
How easy is it to visit? This is the one drawback, because the vast majority of the year where you would want to stay here in the warmer months, you have to have a reservation. And that can be difficult. More and more people are camping, more and more people are RVing these days. It is getting to become harder to book sites. We got lucky on this trip that we were able to book it. If you schedule it out far enough in advance, you can make the reservation. However, there's an endpoint which we'll post it in somewhere in the comments or something like that. Description. Yeah. There's a cutoff point where it becomes first come first serve as it kind of gets closer into the fall. That you don't have to have a reservation. You can literally just show up, and if there's a site available. And we've camped in October up here, which is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
And very few people. So if you want to be able to come at a time of year where it's a little more secluded, not as many people around, and still be able to get plenty of accessibility, you can do that. It just always isn't in the time of year when maybe you want to get in the water and you want to do those kind of things. So that part of it can be a drawback. Overall cool factor for me is a 4. And that's mainly because of the difficulty to come to somewhere that I absolutely love to come and enjoy the outdoors.
Exactly.
It's not close enough for me to make it a day trip, but we love to camp. Even if it's just a weekend, it's close enough for us to get up here and do that. So for me, this is a cool factor of 4.
Okay. Well, obviously, from a combination between the two of us, it's a 4.5 out of 5 on the cool factor, which is pretty high. I mean, I think out of all the places we've camped, like I said, I've been camping since I was a baby. This is up there. I mean, I would happily love to book a reservation and book a trip far in advance, and I love Glendo State Park. So.
Yeah, and we'll continue to come back here, which we can't always say. We've been to a lot of places we love and that are beautiful, and we're like, yeah, it was nice, but for various reasons, we probably wouldn't go back again. Not that we didn't like it or anything like that. This is one of those spots where, for us, we'll repeat coming here probably multiple times.
Exactly. So if y'all have been to Glendo State Park, do not be afraid to comment down below some stuff we missed. We're gonna have to come back. So if you've been to Glendo State Park and if you tried some other things out, let us know. Let the other people know who are watching this video. And yeah, that's our review. And thanks for watching, guys. And we will see y'all in the next video. Let me turn this camera around so y'all can see what we're looking at.